My future in-laws are landwhales and tremble at the sight of vegetables, so they refuse to let me have any vegan options at my wedding. Now their son will pay the McPrice because I refuse to marry into this dumpster family. Posted by you/Sarah Jake 2022. My fiancé, 31M, and I, 25F, are getting married soon. There wasn't much that we disagreed on during the wedding planning, except for food. My family and I are vegans, and there are many reasons why we chose this lifestyle, one of them being our history of health issues. My fiancé and his family are the complete opposite, they're hardcore meat eaters, which is fine by me, obviously. However, when deciding on the wedding food menu, I wanted to add 4 to 5 vegan options. My fiancé and his mom objected, saying it was a waste of money on food that isn't real food. They also argued that this would be offensive to their guests, and suggested that my vegan options should just be the good old salads and appetizers. I said no because, for one, it's my family and me who are paying, and 2, I want to make my guests feel welcome, and not be treated as second-class citizens by being served salad. My fiancé made a face and said, "Isn't that what vegans eat?" I refused to argue about it, and said it was final. The other day, I found out that he had cancelled all the vegan options and took them off the menu completely, all behind my back. Obviously, I was seething. I called him at work, but he kept hanging up on me. I went straight to his workplace, confronted him there, and just flipped out on him. He was stunned to see me. At first, he said it was his mom's idea, then told me to go home because I was making a scene at the office. The fight continued at home, and he defended himself by saying that I had sort of made him resort to this after I kept brushing off his thoughts and input, and refused to accommodate his family. But there were literally plenty of meat options, why can't I have 4 to 5 vegan options when I'm paying for it? He yelled that it was his wedding too, not just my family's. My family said it was fine, that they would figure it out and told me to let it go, but I refused. Am I wrong for putting my foot down on this? Edit. His mom messaged me earlier, trying to get me to listen to what she had to say after I kept ignoring her phone calls. She sent long walls of text to address what I did at her son's workplace, calling it everything from immature to unhinged. She then went on to explain how she's noticed that my family and I have been acting dismissive of her son's input and contributions to the wedding. She said she noticed my behavior towards him and her entire family, and wanted to speak up earlier but didn't, trying instead to keep the peace. She then addressed the food menu issue, denied her involvement in the cancellation of the vegan options, but added that it didn't mean she didn't support her son's decision. Moreover, she thought it was so responsible of him to make that move because of my continual refusal to see how this stuff is a waste of money. She also pointed out how I kept saying, I paid for it, and said that technically, it's not just my money, it's mine and his because we're getting married. She suggested I wise up and get rid of the my money I paid for it mentality. She finally mentioned how bad this whole situation is making me look, and said that she and her son had already offered a number of compromises that I chose to brush off, deciding to make this my weird hill to lay on.